product here from Neewer. I'm going to be using this in a lot of my different video rooms. This is the FS230B. So B means bicolor for those that don't know. I've got a couple of these. I haven't opened them up yet, but I have used the smaller ones. I've used a lot of these newer cob lights, so to speak. I come from a background, a lot of Fresnels and things and panel lights, but starting to like cob lights as long as they're quiet. So, you definitely want one that is air-cooled like this. The higher the wattage, the heavier the light might get because of the heat sink. Heat sink is what keeps these air-cooled. So let's take a look at the power supply. So that's a pretty hefty power supply, because when you get up over 200 watts, they start to get this big. So you got 3-pin. So that must mean that it's 24 volts. So let's pull the light out. Here is our light reflector. These are all Bowen mounts, so reflector helps get more oomph out of the light. All right, there's a good look at it on the side view. You can kind of get an idea how big it is. 230B, so 230 watts. The things that Neewer does right in here is your yoke. You can get that nice and tight. This one's metal, so that's good. And then we want to release. This is just a protective coating. There. Take a look there. That's what you call a cob. That is where all the tiny little LEDs, and if you can kind of see there, you'll have warm and cool. So that's those different rows. And then they combine those to umph you up into the color range. So 2700 would be the warmest, and then all the way up to the bluest, which is 6500. They do a good job of CRI on these newer products now. This has got a 97 plus. Here you're going to get your controls, and a lot of times now these lights have presets. So I don't really ever use the presets, but they're there to give you different effects or quick settings, so you don't have to go in and dial. But let's get this up and running, and let's see how bright it is. All right, we got it powered up. They do have a nice on-off switch here. On some of the smaller ones, you just have to press a button in. And oops, let's not blind ourselves. There is the screen. So let's see here. Changing color, temperature there. And this is your dimming. So 100, etc. Nice step down. Let's see, look at that. So even at 2, we've got a little bit of light. That's nice. Again, like I said, Bowen's mount. So if we put on the, let me turn that off for a second. The release is right there for these things. I do have for this the big soft box, the octagon, which I'll put out on another video. I'm anxious to take a look at it. I got the big guy. When you get into the bigger ones, you kind of need more oomph, so that's why you want to go with something a little brighter. And just looking at it here on the wall, I like it. I mean, it's putting out some light. And then let's see, even on the tungsten, so it's got a heck of a spread. I know you can't see it there, but I mean, that spread is, heck, that's about 12 feet from this distance without a softbox on it. It's tough to use these just straight up like this. There's no way to really control the light, without a lens, but they're great for making soft light. So that's kind of one of the things. Or if you just want to do a big old bounce, they're great for that. Again, nice and quiet, no fan. That's what I wanted. We can't have fans running when we're doing sound takes. And let's see what else we've got here. Okay, so we've got these buttons here are the mode. Let me dim that back down. So there it's got, you can kind of see it. So it's doing some of its effects. You'll have to go in and find out what each mode does. But that's classic, you know, stuff that I don't really use. Tells you right there what it is. So I'm liking it so far. There's going to be 2 of these, a key and a fill. They're both basically going to have the big softbox on them, the octagons. You see it all the time now. You know, back in the day when you do photography or you do fashion, you know, they didn't want any shadows. No shadows, no shadows. So the bigger the soft source, the better the light looked on somebody. So that's the concept here. If you're doing video with these, is to be able to create large, soft source of light with the octagons. It's just become kind of a standard. Not necessarily my favorite thing, but it is a great way to light up large spaces without shadows, and that's what people want today. So check out these newer products up over here. I had a video. I got a smaller one up over here with the softbox on it right now. That's kind of lighting me. This is going up in a much bigger room. FS230Bs, newer. There's several other types that they have. But so far, I've been running the other one up there for, it runs all day long. And it doesn't get hot, hasn't let me down, and I like the affordability of it. So check them out.